like everything, or just like normal? Like, my name is Sarah.
Yeah.
Frier.
Yeah.
I was technically born 2 years before this album came out that I'm about to talk about. I feel like I'm still looking at the camera, but I'm going to talk about the Pretenders' first record, the self-titled record from 1980.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite records of all time, which is funny because I didn't actually come into my life for only about like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I've collected records since I was in high school, and you would think I would have happened at some point to like become obsessed with Chrissie Hynde when I was in high school, considering I was obsessed with rock and roll and there's not a ton of women to choose from in all that category, that I would have had a lot of Pretenders love before then. But it really didn't come into my life until like 5 or 6 years ago, and then it did. It was like Anvil. Like, I was like, I feel like I used to listen to that record like I was going to Mars in a week, and I was only going to be able to like take with me what I could remember, and I just like went on overdrive to like memorize that LP so I could go there and write it down word for word when I got to Mars. I think that if you put that record up against any rock and roll band's first album, like, they could have dropped the mic after the first Pretenders record and been like, it would still be like one of the best records ever. Okay. So we're just going to play a little bit of each song. Well, so I think the reason that whatever it was at this point where this album just like dropped into my life, it was because I went through this phase of like, I like was really damaged and like wounded bird, and I needed to like softly take care of myself, like very Stevie Nicks sort of like self whatever. And then there was this point where I sort of needed to like be tough again, or like be like, you know, deal with some stuff in life again, and like kind of get my like spirit back or something, or my like toughness back. And like, I feel like this was like the other side of that kind of like kind female. It was this like super strong female that will write these songs that are so fucking kick-ass, but then if you start looking at half these lyrics, it's like they're like super sweet and sensitive, and like they're so different than like a punk song where it's all just like fuck you the whole time. Like, half the time they're almost like bizarrely sensitive for being as loud and as fast as they are, for at least like what I think a punk song is gonna sound like. I mean, I don't know what you say. Would you call this a punk rock record? I feel like it would have been annoying enough to my parents to be considered a punk rock record.
Has a lot.
There's so many dirty things on this album too. But like, it's just so different than the way a dude would talk about having sex. So, but I like that. Someone put this on my shelf, you know. Wait.
Is it really autographed by her?
Who knows? The heart was drawn by an employee. You know what, see, okay. You were talking earlier about like dudes and ladies and like how they talk about songs and music. Like, I feel more like I want to tell you like things that happened in my life, like in relation to these songs, than I would ever remember how many of them are British and how many of them are American. But she moved to London to like be in the scene, which seems awfully far from Ohio. Like, she didn't go to New York. I don't know why it was London. That I actually don't know. I don't know why she was obsessed with going there, but she went there before she had a band even. I think she like put her band together there. I do think maybe another one's American, but I could be wrong. They might all be British. Which is Brass in Pocket. That's the other thing. That song's all British sayings. Like, this song is fucking filthy. And like, I don't know how many people would ever even notice that if it was just playing in the background. Like, I'm pretty sure Changing Tires, I mean, I don't even want to like, all of it's filthy. I think it's about giving blowjobs. I don't even want to get into the whatever other things that she said, because I haven't read her book yet. Like I was saying earlier, I feel like I'm like Pee-wee in that thing where all the animals are like in the fire and he keeps walking by the snakes and then he finally like saves them too. Like, I'll read her fucking book, but I'm not going to read it right now. because I know I'm going to have like a lot of feelings about it, because I have a gist of some of the things that she said, which is very difficult for me to rectify with the person singing this song, especially how like it made me feel as a person of sort of like saying things however the fuck I wanted to say them, which is like the reason I like fell in love with this person. And then she says these things and I don't know, like hearing some of the stuff that I know is in that book, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna have like my fucking heart broken and then I don't know. I like will have my heart broken, it's fine, I can deal with it, but I just, you know, it's like it's space them out if I can. It's almost impossible for me to believe that she doesn't totally support women, but I think she had to run such a huge thing to begin with that her way of doing it is, it's almost too dude-like for my mentality sometimes. It makes me miss the part of her that's like this, you know, because I feel like some of the stuff that comes out of her face when she's not writing a song doesn't make me particularly happy. And then I hear these things and I'm just like, she's the fucking greatest. So I guess how I feel about Chrissie Hynde in a nutshell. She always dressed really cool. So this is a fucking mouthful of marbles. It's super fast. It goes, like, the lyrics are kind of insane. They're not about anything that, like, I mean, it repeats, but, like, it's a really difficult song. I've actually tried it a bunch, like, super sober, and I'm like, no, I'm right, it's fucking difficult. Like, I'm not, like, this is exactly the kind of example I'm talking about, too, where, like, it sounds as punk as any punk song I ever knew growing up, but it's about watching a child whose, like, parents forgot to pick them up, who's like waiting in vain for like anyone to give a shit about them. And it's like this sweetest, it's like Kid. It's like both of the, Kid's a sweeter song, so that's not a hard thing to think it's about a child, but like, I feel like this song sounds like a fucking punk song, and it's like, it's about a child like left by himself. It's like really sweet. Ray Davies. I don't know if he would, how old was he when they were together? Because was he too old to do it on the pavement? I feel like he, at that point, was already in an age past wanting to bone on dirt. Or, let alone dirt. Dirt's like softer. Bone on like a hard, rough public surface. Well, this is Kid, right? So this is a great example. This song is like, probably only compared to me more of Show Me the Meaning. That's the name of the song, right? Show Me the Meaning. That is like the harshest song about a child. Like it just like breaks my fucking heart. This song is also really sweet. I mean, The Wait is about a kid you don't know. I'm pretty sure Show Me the Reason? Whatever. You know what song I'm talking about. And this song about her actual children. Which is crazy to think that like this punk, like intense woman is also singing like about her like child. I'm pretty sure at this point her child is like asking questions about her sexual life or choice of life choices, whatever. And it's like this really sweet song about like, I love you more than anything, but like you don't know what my adult life is like, kid. Of all the songs on this record, this is my favorite song. It's one of the first songs I actually learned how to play-ish. It's still hard for me to actually keep up on the bass, and it's actually just repeats. The bass line repeats, but and I still say this thing all the time, like without even thinking about where it came from, about a sandy beach, like where's my sandy beach, when I'm annoyed with everything in fucking life, because that's a line in the song. But this is a song called Mystery Achievement. It's the last song on this record. It's my favorite song on this record, and I don't know, I think the thing is that there was a point in my life where I was like a super punk rocker and I listened to all this punk rock, and then all of a sudden there was this indie punk type music around me, like all these bands that were singing just as fast and as loud songs, but they had like meanings and they had like emotional meanings in them that weren't there in a lot of this like just brah, fuck you punk rock that I'd listened to up until this point. When I hear something like this, it it brings back those feelings of like the first time I heard like indie rock songs, or I heard like these songs that are still some of my favorite songs because they're not just aggressive and loud, but they're like meaningful. So I don't know, I think about this song a lot actually. I don't know, it probably gets to like the Nancy Drew in me, but it's like, I feel like it's just about being fucking frustrated with everything and this rate at which it's going, and you know, you want to just get out on the floor and do the Cuban slide, but you have to like live fucking life and deal with all of its shit. So that's the Pretender's first record.